call upon our last speaker for this session, lOVIN. Harvest aspects of fish, post-harvest losses of fish. I think that's a unique area today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and good evening to everyone. My name is lOVIN Kobusingye. I'm from Uganda, and I'm happy to speak on behalf of the fisheries sector because they have talked about maize, banana, vegetables, but no one had talked about fish, and I'm very glad I'm representing the fish sector. But on behalf of private sector and on behalf of my company, which is KATI FARMS Uganda Limited, and that picture is inside KATI Farm processing facility, and the product they are doing right now is the fish sausage. We are the first, if not the only one in the world who innovated the first fish sausage on the African continent. And we are proud to say it is now on the market, and we are doing very well. I don't have to make farming profitable, we have to add value, especially for the youth. They think farming is attractive for present and generations to come. I am 32 years old. I ventured into agriculture because I wanted to motivate other youth to join agriculture. It is not a business for the elderly, it is a business for everyone. My father was a farmer, my mother was a farmer, and I got my education through farming. That's why I said I will formalize my father's farm, and this farm, KATI Farm, is based in Mushenyi, far away from Kampala. I tried to modernize it by registering it, and making it a commercial business. I take you back to the background. Uganda is a landlocked country. Total surface area is 241,550 square kilometers. Water body covers about 15%. We have swamps, which cover about 2%, and the population in Uganda today is about 40 million. Total fish production in Uganda is about, in 2012 data, it was 403 metric tons, of which approximately 16,500 metric tons was from aquaculture and smallholder farmers, small water bodies, I mean. And there is wide scope for increasing aquaculture production in Uganda because so many other lakes. And as I had already told you, in 2008, as a fresh graduate from my university, I was looking for jobs in very high-profile offices. And while I was looking for them, because I told you already I was passionate about farmers, and my father being a farmer, I chose to go for a Fish Farmers Cooperative Society job, and I went for that to gain experience on how to manage a farm business. And when I reached in that cooperative society, it is called Walimi Fish Farmers Cooperative Society, I was very surprised and a bit disappointed that the farmers were only 34 in number. And production of farmed fish was very unpopular in Uganda at the same time, low production. And even with low production, market access was a very big problem. And as an administrator in that organization, I tried really my best to solve the challenges the farmers had. And I tell you, it was a whole lot of problems. And I'm very happy to inform you today that the cooperative membership has grown from 34 members to 1,037 members today. And when that happened, the challenge of market was actually a very, very, very big problem for me. And that was the beginning of KATI Farms. KATI Farms is a fish agro-processing company, and we mainly specialize in processing farmed fish. And the reason I chose to specialize to do farmed fish was because I want to do sustainable fisheries in my country. We have been used to getting free fish from the lake. It is as big as this size, and everyone is getting free, taking home, eating. But what will our grandchildren eat? And with that, I decided to promote smallholder farmers in that same cooperative society where I used to work from, because they knew me better. And everyone in the country still accesses our market through the same cooperative society. It's very easy to manage people in one group than managing scattered farmers all over the place. So our customers include hotels, supermarkets, schools, to mention but a few. And despite vast fish resources in Uganda, the country has unutilized these resources. We have a lot of fish waste. We have a lot of small daga, we have a lot of tilapia, and I tell you, there is too much to do. And fish farmers in Uganda, when they had that problem, despite fish, you know, is a very healthy product, but marketing was very hard. So KATI Farms started adding value, and we have our innovative, the flagship product that we started with was fish sausages. Our business has been driven by research and innovation. I did research alone because I was, at that time, the only interested partner. And later, I have other two partners, one from the UK and one from Uganda. And the farmers as also part of the company. So with fish sausages, we also have other fish products like spring rolls, we have sumbusas, we have fish powder, and we have a lot of many products. Actually, they are all around 17 products in total. So the reasons for we did customize our products to different tastes and preferences. As you notice today, the trends have changed. My father used to eat fish in a whole form, a big size fish, but today you really have to make fish attractive for families if you want to have money from the fish sector. You have to form various fish products in order for people to, because no one has time. Everyone is running around to work and maybe going to the supermarket to pick a pack to cook. So in order for us to solve the challenge of pick fish, scale it, cut it, it's a whole lot of time. So we have managed to do that by making various products. If you don't want to eat the fish head, you can only eat the samosa and you have fish in your diet. And the trust of 100,037 farmers that accepted supplying fish, you may ask me that, how did you get your capital to begin your business? I did not have capital. I only had $800 from my savings at my work. And when I got the market and I was very successful with the research and the product development, I went back to the farmers and told them, I will take your fish for 1 week, you pick your check after. Then the farmers did not disappoint me. They already knew me, they knew I was a honest person, and they gave me fish on credit for 1 week, and they would come and pick their checks at the end of the week. And also, participating in local shows like here, where I am now. Unfortunately, I didn't carry some products because I was not sure of the refrigeration systems in place, and it helped us also to get international recognition and exposure. What have we achieved so far? We started in 2012 to be in the market. We have managed to achieve new innovative products in the market, as you have seen already, and we buy 15,000 kilograms of fish per week from the smallholder farmers in Uganda, and we are employing 38 staff in our fish production chain. That is right away from the farm, picking fish, the drivers, the processors, those who pack it. And out of the 38, the 60% of our staff are women. And the reason I chose to work mainly with ladies was because I really wanted to help a woman. And we also have a private-public partnership with the Directorate of Fisheries now. We are working on it. It is going to be, we are going to have a fish marketing center in Wandegea under the Africa Development Bank building project, which was done to promote agriculture. We have been offered a space to do a fish marketing center. And in that place, we are going to have a fish supermarket with very many fish products, where you enter and pick fish of your choice, anytime, any day, and whether it's a public holiday or someone has died, the business has to continue. And a company worth $500,000 in a scope of 4 years. I think this is a very big achievement, and we are very happy to have achieved this so far. What we are looking for right now, outlooks a private production facility, as I've said, because before we have been working under the government incubation program, and I hope it is high time that we take over our facility. We are in the process of taking over. We already have the required, the machinery, the space, everything. So we are done with the architecture designs and everything, and very soon we will have a launch of the new production facility with the market and everything is. And the others will be within that. We also have, we have started on the patent and manufacturing rights of our innovations, because many people have been trying to do copy and paste of our innovations, though they have failed to succeed because it really takes a lot of time and a lot of money. But I'm willing to train. Whoever wants to do the product, at least let us do it in a good way so that we don't spoil the business. And highly certified quality products, yes, we are working with Uganda National Bureau of Standards on making sure that we have a certified fish products. And we also want to grow our fish farmers network to 2,000 by the end of 2016. And we also wish to continue improving in production processes to improve supply reliability. And I made a picture one for the local fish processor in my village. And you can see there is no packaging, there is no standard, and I have KATI Farm products on the other side. Even if it were you going to choose which one to buy, no one would want to buy this side. Thank you very much.
From a job seeker to an employer. I think this is very, very exciting. Can we give a round of applause? Can we call upon the presenters to come over so we can have a discussion? I'll just pick a few points that interested me. The presentations were tomatoes in Nigeria, packaging in Burundi, and fish in Uganda. And in Nigeria, we gathered that there are often market gluts with no guaranteed markets. So there are no incentives for farmers to invest in production of tomatoes. Yet there is actually a huge demand for the tomatoes, we're told that there's $1.2 billion US, not Naira, 1.2 US billion worth of business, imported tomato paste, which could actually be produced locally. So they have this innovation where they're actually going out there. I think I really emulate their bravery. I mean, if I were to be told to go and work in northern Nigeria, I would have a lot of hesitation. But this company is taking the risk, is quite bold and going out there and trying to change the figures from 7 tons production to 100, not necessarily to 120, but the potential is 120 if we talk about US, compared to the local production of 7 tons. So there is quite a huge gap there. But what I also like most is the empowerment of data capturing to ensure that they can see the profitability of the enterprise. In Burundi, we're told that less than 1%, there's less than 1% of processed products, and most of the material is being imported, and so it's forcing this local innovation of reusing material containers that have already been used for other things. So, but there are lots of risks associated with that. And we also told that importation of packages or packaging material is very expensive, and there are lots of opportunities for using packaging as a loss reduction, post-harvest loss reduction strategy. We also told that there's a need for a cultural mindset in terms of the consumer, so that they appreciate processed products and they increase the consumption. The fish, we hear about fish sausages. It's my first time to hear about this. I hope to taste it one of these days. I particularly liked the motivation of young farmers. I'm sure if we were to sell this example, shining example, to other countries, this is because what I've seen in Africa is that youngsters, they are abandoning agriculture. They're saying there's no money in agriculture. Even in my university, you find students, they kind of moving away from, and they are going into the commercial subjects and all that. They think there's no money in agriculture. But here, we were told that there is now $500,000 worth of a company in 4 years, and they grew from 34 members to more than 1,000. This is quite phenomenal. And they are not just doing it haphazardly, it's quite systematic. They are standardizing their products. I think this is quite commendable. There is also the issue of the business being driven by research and innovation. I think there are lots of things to learn from the examples that we had today, and what private sector can do to transform lives of people, and especially women, according to the last speaker. So can I now call upon contributions from the floor to the panelists here? What I would suggest is that we ask questions.
My question actually is for the lady who gave a presentation on the Jos tomatoes. How did you tackle the challenge? Because in Kenya there's a project that was being funded by USAID of the value chain, and I wanted to do something on tomatoes, but I went to a company that buys tomatoes, and they told me that they can't buy at the price that I was going to give them, because there's a lot of tomato paste which is cheap that they're getting from China. And now all the paste that I used to make tomato ketchup are imported from China. So the price variation that we're giving to the farmers, was it quite okay or what? And then the second question is for the lady who gave a presentation on the KATI farms. I want to ask her, how bold was she? Because I know introducing a product into the market and talking to the supermarkets, it's quite hard. People are not used to sausages from fish. They're used to sausages made using pork and other tomato, maybe chicken. How did you decide to test the market, and how were you sure to go ahead and initiate those products made using fish? Thank you very much.
Presentation. I have been working in the fishery sector over a decade, and for the first time I come across someone talking a positive direction. It's something really appreciated. But from the name KATI Farm, definitely I think you raise catfish, isn't it? And if that's the case, how do you process them? Because there is a lot of trick on processing catfish. And I tried to do some applied research on that one, and I stuck somewhere. So probably today you're going to open up the door again. How do you process the catfish? How do you deal with the waste produced from the catfish and such things?
You've actually hit the nail on the head of what makes or breaks this business. To do a little bit of the math with you guys as a group, the price of tomato paste sold FOB, free on board from China, is right now about $800 a ton of paste. So that means if we're making tomato paste in Nigeria, right now it's costing the farmers, I said, what, $116 per ton? So if you multiply that by 6, the cost of the raw material alone is almost $700 a ton, right? And so the question is, how can you make tomato paste competitive in Nigeria? And you either have to increase the yield so that for the same amount of resources or on the same amount of land, you're producing a much larger quantity of tomatoes, or you have to decrease the cost. But as we know right now, Nigerians are already at the bottom of the spectrum in terms of how much fertilizer and seed and how much they're spending on those inputs. So it's a question of right now, maybe they're spending a total of, in Naira terms, like 50,000 Naira, okay? And they have revenues maybe of, say, 80,000 Naira, right? What we're trying to say is, look, why don't we increase the inputs that you're using? Maybe you're now, instead of spending 50,000 Naira, you're spending 150,000 Naira. But instead of earning 80,000 Naira, maybe you're earning, 5 times more, 10 times more. So the cost basis increases by a factor of 3, but the revenue basis increases by a factor of 10. That enables us, as the manufacturer, to buy tomatoes at about $100 a ton. That's our price. That's what we're trying to aim for. If we can buy at $100 a ton, then we can buy enough tomatoes for a ton of tomato paste at $600 a ton. But remember, the paste coming from China, it's in bulk packages. It's in a 1-ton container. They're going to have to spend more money packaging it into retail packets. If we're able to get it directly into the retail sachets, we save that 10% of cost, and then we're able to sell tomato paste at the same price while still making a profit as the imports. So it's absolutely, the crucial thing in this business is about yield. Dangote and a lot of other large companies are looking at tomato paste right now, but they're all approaching at it from the manufacturing perspective. Dangote has spent about $10 million on a tomato processing facility in Kano, but it's never run one day of production because they don't have the cost metrics right on the raw material. So you're absolutely right. That's the crucial piece of making this business work. Thanks.
I will answer, how did I get through to the market? Yeah, that's a very challenging question, and the way we managed to enter the market was having an innovative product, and we actually didn't have any competitor on the shelf. The fish shelf, actually, even if you walked here into Nairobi markets, they are still empty. The fish shelf is empty, and there is still a gap for you, for me, and for others, if we go into that. When I was introducing the product, I used a platform like this. I was invited to a workshop, and I requested the workshop people to allow me serve my sausages for free. So you have also to inject some little money. So I offered free sausages for breakfast on the menu, and everyone who tested had to leave with a packet of sausages that day. I sold all the sausages I had with me at the exhibition, and all that I had in the plant, they were all sold off. And from that day, I got free publicity. I did not spend money on advertising on TV or radio, because I had something for people to read about. I had something for people to listen to. This is something new. You have to innovate, you have to think harder, and you have not to cheat. Because if, like after one, maybe if I got customers and then I decided to reduce on the ingredients and then compromise on the price, no, I'm still sticking to quality, and I'm innovating every day. I'm changing actually right now is when I'm settling for a brand. After 4 years, I didn't have a brand name, because every day I was seeing a new name. I'm still thinking on the new package that I want to have. I'm very glad FAO invited me here, and I have seen various packaging companies. I already got support from Oxfam. They offered me a business coach, a full-time business coach, and I also got a branding expert who is from Norway. She's already working on the packaging design. We are done with the packaging design. We are also done with rebranding and all sorts of those things. So right now, I was looking out for the supplier of packaging and packaging machines. So you see how luck can continue following you if you innovate hard. And so now here, FAO has given me a chance to meet directly with the packaging suppliers. Thank you, FAO and other partners. The question about how I process the catfish. I only specialize in 2 species, and that is catfish and tilapia. And processing catfish is not really very difficult. If this gentleman from Tanzania wants to learn from us, we will be very happy to train him or train his group. He can visit our processing plant, but you will work for free because you will be doing training. So you are welcome. And how I handle the issue of waste. Waste is one of my products. As on my list of products, I have a product called pet mince. And pet mince is made from fish offcuts. My main buyer, I only have one company that buys my waste, and that is Uganda Wildlife Authority. They are using fish mince to feed animals and pets. So absolutely the only waste I have in my processing plant is water. The rest is all very useful. Thank you so much.
The question goes to this lady of Uganda. It's about how you raise these faithful suppliers from 34 to over 1,000. And here maybe, and they are so faithful that they just give you the raw materials, which maybe may not be the case here. By the time you go to buy, there will be some other people who will come and will have bought the fish before you get there. Is there no other competitor? Thank you.
Come up with the packaging. You showed us that people are using cast-off bottles, which is also true for our country. So do you have any innovative packaging system for the soya products?
Yes, we have a working relationship. We have an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding with all the farmers as suppliers. And we have some incentives. For example, we offer them fish feeds on credit if a farmer wants to. Because I know in order for me to have a continuous supply, I must also get involved in the fish growing and management. So we have fish feeds in store for our farmers to buy, but we also give you on credit if you don't have money and you're already in the process. If you have already started growing, maybe along the way you run out of money, we support you with fish feeds, and of course we already have an MOU with you, so at the end of the harvesting season we come and pick the fish. Our system also is simple in a way that We don't let farmers carry the fish because it is difficult we only buy live fish, we don't buy dead fish. So, and the reasons why we buy live fish is because we want to avoid spoilage and wasting. Farmers don't have the tanks, they don't have the oxygen cylinders to handle the fish and transport it to our processing plant. So we have a staff who is a transporter who is trained in how to harvest fish very well with the help of the farmers at the farm. They carry the fish direct to the processing unit alive. We don't buy dead fish. And we also have, if you need technical support, we have some people who can help you on fish management practices. And the cooperative is actually the one that does the technical, the extension, all those other things. And I'm very sure with that system, it can work with other. I was hearing people talking about the value chain, It is not difficult to manage the value chain. You just, if you're a business person, you're involved in the maize value chain, it's a win-win situation. You have to get involved in the transportation if you want to get good maize transported to you. You ignore the value chain, you only wait for the maize at your factory, you will not get the good quality maize. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.